Alright. Okay. Let's see if this is the one.
我的职业是婚姻合约登记员。这个地方的法律是只有结婚，没有离婚。而结婚可以选择年期，约满可以再续。有一对老夫妇，我已经见了他们3年。我不懂他们为什么不干脆续个10年8年，反而要在一起这么多年之后，一年一年续下去。老先生说，老太太患上严重痴呆症，他对时间的观念都混乱了。老先生决定每年再追求她一次，再向她求一次婚，每年都记得要开心一次。
他们好浪漫啊！那你会这样对我吗？
你说呢？
这一生和下世有几多次风霜？
但慢慢的，我看到更多为年期而吵架，为小事而不再许愿。在工作的时候，我很公事公办，但我越来越迷糊。2个人一起的时间，中间的意义。时间差不多了，回来再说。
快努力工作吧。
每天我穿梭的街道好像差不多，每段有期限的婚姻也好像差不多，直到今天。
这么麻烦吧？
老先生居然说要定100年的约，我的第一个100年，我忍不住问为什么。
医生说他剩下的日子不到1年了，我想明明的下辈子。
来了。
我听到他们这番话，突然我好想放下所有东西，马上去找你。我想给你我的答案。时间就是最好的合约。
I had no idea what that was about. Think about it. Just think about it. Does anybody want to comment on the movie, the video? What the video meant?
Making that kind of contract is so rare.
that I'm going to agree to a 100-year contract with you. I made it 18 years and I thought I had done an amazing thing under the circumstances. But to have to renew that every single year, I think is a pretty neat practice.
Yeah. Well, to me, I think the gentleman realized that the best gift is time. Time, and time is love. You know, the two senior citizens with the wife who only had a year to live, the gentleman signed a 100-year contract so that he would also be with her in the next lifetime. That's how much he loved her. But we can watch it again sometime.
That was neat.
Well, what's really interesting, they're off in Thailand, and they're commercials. It's fascinating. What I've been talking about is doing a series on different spiritual laws that govern the universe, that apply to everyone all the time, without exception. And when we live in alignment with these spiritual laws, that's when our life flows. Does that mean we're never going to have a conflict, or we're never going to get sick, or relationships won't come and go? No, that's not what it's about. What it's about is that we will be able to handle the life's challenges in a different way. In a way that brings us peace, and in a way that we will be able to flow with what happens, knowing that if one thing ends, another, that just means that another door is going to open. That experience has lived out its lifetime, and it's time to move on to a new experience. But the law I want to talk today is the law of giving. And it really should be called the law of giving and receiving, because the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Nothing is static in the universe, although we try to make it static because sometimes we want to hold on to an experience for all it's worth. Our body is dynamic and is in constant exchange with the body of the universe. Our mind is dynamically interacting with the mind of the cosmos. Our energy is an expression of cosmic energy. The flow of life is nothing more than the harmonious interaction of all the elements and forces that structure this field of existence, in fact, all fields of existence. This harmonious interaction of elements and forces in our life is called the law of giving. Although, like I said, it should be called the law of giving and receiving. Because our body and our mind and the universe is in constant exchange, stopping the circulation of energy at any time is like stopping the flow of blood. Whenever blood stops flowing, it begins to clot, coagulate, and stagnate. That is why we give and receive in order to keep the flow going. For example, if someone, it's a lot easier for people to give. It is extremely difficult for most people to receive. That is kind of fascinating. It's like for some reason people have a really hard time receiving. If someone offers us a gift and we don't want to accept the gift, we do two things. We stop their flow of prosperity because we stopped their giving, and we stopped our flow of abundance and prosperity because we refused the gift. So we did not receive. It's important to be able to get to the point where we can receive graciously the gifts that people have to offer us. The word prosperity comes from the root word, or the word affluent, comes from the root word affluere, which means to flow to. The word affluence means to flow in abundance. Money is really a symbol of life, the life energy we exchange in this life, which we use as a result of the service we give to the universe and the service we receive from the universe. Another word for money is currency. The root word of the word currency is curere, which means to run or to flow. So both affluence and currency means flow. It's an exchange of energy. If we stop the circulation of money, if we decide our only intention is to hold on to our money and hoard it because it is life energy, we will stop the flow of circulation in our lives, the circulation of money. It's an even exchange, it's a flow. In order to keep the energy coming to us, we have to keep the energy circulating. Like a river, money must keep flowing. Otherwise, it begins to stagnate, to clog, and to suffocate and strangle its very own life force. Circulation keeps it alive and vital. In relationships, it's the same thing. Every relationship is a give and take. Giving engenders receiving, and receiving engenders giving. What goes up must come down. What goes out must come back. In reality, receiving is the same as giving, because giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And if we stop the flow of either, we interfere with nature's intelligence. The more we give, the more we will receive, because we will keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. In fact, anything that is of value only multiplies when it is given. That which doesn't multiply through giving is neither worth giving nor worth receiving. If through the act of giving you feel that you have lost something, then the gift is not truly given and will not cause increase. Say that again. If through the act of giving you feel you have lost something, then the gift is not truly given and will not cause increase. If you give grudgingly, there is no energy behind the giving. Or if you give out of a sense of obligation, it's the same thing. There will be no energy behind that giving. It's the intention behind the giving and receiving that is the most important thing. The intention should always be to create happiness for the giver and the receiver, because happiness is life-supporting, life-sustaining, and therefore generates increase. The return is directly proportional to the giving when it is unconditional and from the heart. It may not be from the same source, and I'll give you an example. When my two sisters were young, and I have a sister who's 16 years younger than me and a sister who's 13 years younger than me, they used to go to Girl Scout camp, to resident camp. And I would always send them a care package. You know, cookies, a teddy bear, a t-shirt, just a whole bunch of little things I put into a care package. And this is many, many years older. When I was an adult and I went through a period of being unemployed, my sister went out and shopped, Andrea, and got this big box of stuff. And she said to me, you know, she just gave it to me. It was all kinds of things like soap and toilet paper, things that you would need, some food and stuff. And she said, you know, I remember when we were little, you used to send us care packages at campus. So I got you a care package. It always comes back later. Maybe you give money and something happens. This happened to me once too. This is when I was living in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is right after 9/11. The company I was working for, I was doing web design for a company. Well, about a month later, the company folded. So I was sitting there in Knoxville, no income, nothing. And I got to the point where I had to pay my next rent, and I didn't have the money, and this was really weird. But the car insurance company I had at the time, something had happened, and there was a class action suit against this car company, and I got in the mail right about when the rent was due, the exact amount for the rent. And that's from giving. That's from when I gave maybe years ago. But it always comes back to you multiplied. It always comes back. It's important that the act of giving be joyful. Then the energy behind it increases many times over. If we want to give to someone who's poor and we think, well, they're poor, let's give them some money, we don't want to give, or even food, we don't want to give with an attitude of lack. We want to give to their prosperity so that they can be prosperous too. The intention is just so important. Practicing the law of giving is very easy. If you want joy, give joy to others. If you want love, learn to give love. If you want attention and appreciation, learn to give attention and appreciation. If you want material affluence, help others become materially affluent. The easiest way to get what we want is to help others get what they want. That's how it works, because we are one and we are all connected. What we give in the flow of life will come back to us multiplied. The principle works equally well for individuals, for families, for corporations, for societies, and for nations. If we want to be blessed with all the good things in life, learn to silently bless everyone with all the good things in life. Even the thought of giving, the thought of blessing, or a simple prayer has the power to affect other people. Our body, reduced down to its essential state, is just a bundle of energy that we can choose to direct in any way that we want. We are localized bundles of consciousness in a conscious universe. The word consciousness implies more than just energy and information. It implies energy and information which is alive with thought. Therefore, we are bundles of thought in a thinking universe. And that thought, when coupled with feeling, has the power to transform. You can go on the internet and look under the transforming power of thought, and you will see some scientific experiments that have been proven that thought influences matter. Life is the eternal dance of consciousness. Remember, it expresses itself as this dynamic exchange between the microcosm with the macrocosm. This little personal life we have, and then out there into the whole world. It's an exchange between the human body and the universal body, between the human mind and the cosmic mind. When we learn to give that which we seek, we activate and choreograph this dance with this exquisite, energetic, and vital movement that constitutes the eternal throb of life. The best way to put the law of giving into operation, to start the whole process of circulation, is to make the decision that any time we come in contact with anyone, we will give them something. It doesn't have to be in the form of a material thing. It could be a flower, a compliment, a smile, a prayer. This doesn't mean we have to go and stand out in front of the county assistant's office with a stack of $50 bills and start handing them out to people who are going in to get services. That's not what it means. The most powerful forms of giving are non-material. The gift of caring, attention, affection, appreciation, and love are the most precious gifts that we can give, and it doesn't cost anything. When we meet someone, we can silently send them a blessing, wishing them happiness, joy, and laughter. This kind of silent giving ends up being very powerful. Never go to anyone's house without bringing something. Never visit anyone without bringing them a gift. Well, you might think, well, how can I give a gift to someone when I have so little? When I don't have enough myself? You can bring a flower, one flower. You could bring a note card which says something about your feelings for that person you're visiting. You could bring them a compliment. You could bring them a prayer. You can, if you really sit and think and kind of dig deep down inside yourself, you will find something to give. So I want to invite you to make a decision to give wherever you go to whomever you see. As long as you're giving, you will be receiving. If you're giving someone joy, that joy is going to return to you. The more you give, the more confidence you will gain in the miraculous effects of the law. And as you receive more, your ability to give more will increase. Our true nature is one of affluence. Some people think, in some faiths, that as Christians are supposed to be poor because Jesus was poor. That is not true. In fact, there's a book written called The Millionaire of Nazareth. Jesus was actually a millionaire. And most people don't know that. Someone else who was also a millionaire, Mother Teresa. A lot of people don't know that. She used to fly in her own private jet. So when you give, things do come back multiplied. It is the consciousness that we have when we're giving that knows how to fulfill every need, including joy, love, laughter, peace, harmony, and knowledge. If we seek these things first, if we seek ways to help other people, to give to other people, if we seek ways to give people joy, if we seek ways to give people love, then everything else will come to us spontaneously. There's a saying in the Bible that says, seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. The kingdom of God is love, peace, joy, happiness, wisdom, understanding, and affluence and prosperity. So, how are we going to apply the law of giving? Just like last week, I have your commitment papers. Here is your commitment to put into practice the law of giving. And we will affirm this together. So I invite you to affirm this with me together. I will put the law of giving into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. Wherever I go and whoever I encounter, I will bring them a gift. The gift may be a compliment, a flower, or a prayer. Today I will give something to everyone I come in contact with, and so I will begin the process of circulating joy, wealth, and affluence in my life and in the lives of others. 2. Today I will gratefully receive all the gifts life has to offer me. I will receive the gifts of nature, sunlight, and the sounds of birds singing, or spring showers, or the first snow of winter. I will also be open to receiving from others, whether it be in the form of a material gift, money, a compliment, or a prayer. 3. I will make a commitment to keep wealth circulating in my life by giving and receiving life's most precious gifts, the gifts of caring, affection, appreciation, and love. Each time I meet someone, I will silently wish them happiness, joy, and laughter. And now I invite you to prepare for meditation.
I don't know about receiving that first snow of winter. I'm not sure about that one.
John, could you also turn the light up? As we prepare prepare for meditation, I invite everyone to gently close their eyes. Make yourselves comfortable in your chairs. Move your body around until you feel comfortable. I invite you to see in your mind's eye a raindrop. Many raindrops. Each raindrop represents a negative attitude, feeling, or a belief, perhaps some conflict in your life. And I invite you to assign to those raindrops perhaps a negative belief, perhaps a conflict you're having, perhaps a person. And as you see those raindrops fall and they hit the earth, they are absorbed. They disappear and they are absorbed by the earth. And those feelings that you might be having, or those experiences, or those circumstances are cleansed. And I invite you to scan your body, and if you notice any tension, perhaps we tend to hold tension in our shoulders or our neck or our lower back. Just consciously relax those parts of your body. You can even talk to your body and give it permission to relax. When this celebration service is over, we're all going to return out to the real world. And I want you to invite you in your mind's eye to imagine how you're going to give as you travel from this building to your home. Will you be giving something to other people that you might see, perhaps cars who pass you, or a car you pass? Will you give something to the people traveling in the other lane, going in the opposite direction? When you walk out of this building, you might see the sign down on the first floor that tells you who else is in the building. Is there something you can give to the other people who might be in the building today? As you're walking around town, or as you're walking to your car, is there something you can give to the owners of the other cars in the parking lot? Maybe you have to stop at Walmart or Martin's on the way home and pick something up. How can you give to the people that you encounter down the aisle? Or the clerk at the cash register? As you're walking down the aisle, you could bless all the cans and packages, so that those who take one of those cans also receive a blessing. When you're walking by the fruits and vegetables, you could bless the fruits and vegetables, so everyone who picks up an apple or a bag of grapes receives your blessing. We've driven back from Walmart, and sometimes on the corner near the light, we run into a gentleman that might say, "I'm homeless, but I work for food." Imagine yourself giving to that person. What would you give? Now I invite you to just think about the month of July. And think about ways that you have received. Acknowledge the gifts of receiving that you have received during the month of July. And I invite you, before we end our meditation today, to practice the gift of receiving. When someone offers you something, simply say, thank you, I really appreciate that. Don't resist. Accept the gift. Because when you graciously receive, you're activating your own, the law of giving and receiving in your life, as well as the law of giving and receiving in the life of the one who gave to you. Now I invite you to just gently open your eyes and move around in your chair and come back to this time and place. And know that the law of giving and receiving is now activated in your life.